Well, hey, good morning. I'm Aaron Bowman, W4ARB in Tuskegee National Forest, about to do a Parks on the Air activation. And today I'm going to be using the Xiegu, or however you pronounce it, the Xiegu G106, the infamous radio with a terrible reputation. So let's find out if it's really as bad in practical use as its reputation is. I bought it really because I want a radio that I can throw around, go to the beach, use it on the beach, not worry about it, use it if it's kind of rainy outside, again, not worry about it. Not that it's really that tough of a radio, but more of it's like a $200-ish radio instead of like my ICOM 705, which is a $1,300-ish radio. So it's nice to just kind of have a beater radio, if you will. But let's check it out and let's see if it really does do what it advertises to do. Apparently I've got a stain on my shirt. Didn't see that this morning. So with the camera angle, you're going to get to stare at it. Sorry about that. Alright, let's pull it out. I just got it in this little, little bag, pouch, whatever you want to call it. And it fits pretty nicely in here. Alright, so there is the Xiegu G106. The construction of it's pretty good. It's metal. I like the metal knobs. I like that they're recessed, so actually protected without any additional protection. I like the look and the feel of the radio itself. One thing I'm surprised by is it's actually really small. I don't think that there's a good way to show on camera, but maybe that kind of helps. I mean, I can completely wrap this in my hands. It's kind of like if you took two HTs and sat them side by side. That's about what size this is. So, I mean, it's pretty small. And today I'm going to be using this Energy Cube. I bought this on Prime Day. They were on sale. And this particular model was, I think, like $24 on Prime Day, which was awesome. But I'm going to be running this off of USB-C power delivery, PD, and this battery is actually rated 65 watts out of the USB-C port, and so it can handle the about 3 amps that this radio will pull. So don't just use a 5-watt radio like this off a USB-C PD on just any battery, because a lot of batteries, like this is actually the only one I have that can handle that amperage. And that's actually what I mainly bought it for, was for using with this radio. So let me kind of sit it there. Now, feature number 1, it's missing. There's no kickstand on this thing. And you ain't gonna use it like that. I mean, can't see the screen at all. But, whatever. It's a $200 radio. I think that's what people forget. So I'm not going to be reviewing this in comparison with, say, like not really reviewing it at all. I'm just going to use it and we're going to talk about it. I'm not a reviewer in the strict sense of the word. But I'm not going to be comparing it to my 705. I mean, it's not a fair comparison. But what I am going to do is talk about what it advertises to do and whether or not it actually does those things. Because I think that is the only fair way to look at a radio. You read up on what it's supposed to do, what features it has, what modes it operates, etc. And does it do those things well? So, alright. I think I got everything hooked up there. I'm going to put this in line really quick. It's a little MiniSWR meter for 20 through 80 meters. And I'm going to put it right here. Now this MiniSWR is only rated up to 5 watts, so I'm going to turn the power down as I use it to check the SWR with this radio, because this radio says it's 5 watts. By my measurements, it is more like 7, 8. So I don't want to blow that up. Alright, it turned on. Let me turn it where you can kind of see what I'm doing over here. And I've got my antenna tuned for 40 meters. So let's go down to 40. Listen for a second, make sure I'm not stepping on anybody before I key a few times. Oops, yes I am. Sorry about that. Alright, let me adjust the antenna. Alright, so I'm showing the antenna at 1.5 to 1. I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to take this out of line and plug the antenna directly into the old radio. So, yeah, there is something I wish it had. I wish it had a built-in SWR meter. That is a massive convenience in the field. But, yeah, the little mini SWR, which I'll link in the description, is a handy little device for the radios that don't. Alright, I've got everything set up and ready to rock and roll here. So, I am using my modern Morse CW paddles. Again, excellent key. Love it. The JPC-12 antenna, which you can't see, it's just off of camera over there. But then the Xiegu G106 is all hooked up and ready to roll. Now this is a very, very simple radio, so some of the things I'll talk about right off the bat is it doesn't have a lot of features. Right, so that's one thing you'll notice about it, is it doesn't have a built-in SWR meter. It doesn't have a little flip-down stand. Those are two I've mentioned already in the video. It doesn't have, inside of it, it doesn't have a lot of the features that some of the fancier radios do, but I think the question with this radio is, what it does have, does it do it well? Or at least well enough? And that's what we're going to be talking about this morning. So instead of just yapping about it, I'm going to get on the air and we'll listen to how it does together. And hopefully you can see it pretty well on the video too. I know I'm zoomed in real close to myself here, but hopefully you don't mind, so that you can get a good view of the radio too. And I've already got my spot ready to put in. I'm on 40 meters. Alright, feature it doesn't have: a CW memory keyer. So I'm going to be keying a lot this morning. That's okay. The FT817, the venerable, famous radio, it doesn't have one either. Alright, my spot's put in. You hear that AGC right there? So signal started off extremely loud and then turned down. It's my one complaint with this radio. He did it again, but not too bad. Morning, Spencer. I think I've finally gotten used to your new call sign. So again, loud signals, they start real loud and then drop. Hey, 4 contacts right off the bat. All folks that I know. That's funny. Gen 5 contacts so far. Ah, golly. Gotcha. Alright, a couple more CQs and I'm probably going to change to 20 meters. Yeah, it looks like the RBN's not working this morning. Well, RBN's probably working, but the integration with POTA isn't. Golly. One more CQ here. One more CQ here again. All right. Let's change 20 meters. Flip that up. Come up to about 14.062. All right, let's put this SWR meter back in line. One to one. Nothing to complain about there. I can take that back out. Okay, let's see where folks are. I'm sure anybody else in Parks on the Air on this frequency, so we'll listen for a minute. All right, call QRL. There's that AGC again. It's just too slow. Can you, couple calls mixed up there. Wow, with USB. More QSB. Excuse me. Alright, I'm gonna call QRT right there. Man, great little activation. You got, let's see, 8 contacts on 40 meters. I don't know how many on 20 meters, but did rather well. And now, let's talk about the Xiegu G106. Is it a terrible radio? My answer, absolutely not. It's not a terrible radio. I paid $239 on Prime Day. They were $199 on Amazon. You can get these radios for a great price. It does what it says it does. It operates. It makes contacts. The one complaint that I have, now it's got little quirks, sure, but the one thing that's an actual complaint that I have is the automatic gain control, the AGC. Whenever there's a loud signal coming back after I stop transmitting, it will come in real hot and real loud and take about a full second for the AGC to turn it down, right? And that's really frustrating. You know, that just is loud. Wearing headphones, I haven't used it with headphones yet, but I'm pretty sure that using it with headphones, that's going to be more irritating. But yeah, that's my one frustration with the radio. Other than that, I don't really have any major frustrations. I wish it had a regular headphone jack instead of the headphone jack is combined with this modular microphone jack, so I've got to make an adapter for that to try headphones with it. I'm not going to use the microphone and plug the headphones into the microphone. There is a headphone jack on it, but I'm just not going to do that. I don't use microphones, don't need it, don't want to carry it. So yeah, I do wish it had that. I wish it had an SWR meter built in. If it had those two things and the AGC was a little faster, didn't just explode with loud signals before it turns them down, I would actually say this is a really good radio. But even with the features that it doesn't have, the AGC issue, if you want a $200 radio to bring into the field, operate, make some contacts, casually operate from home, and do whatever, it's fine. Now, I know from Thomas Witherspoon, K4SWL's videos, that it has a wide open front end and can be susceptible to things like broadcast interference. I don't have those kinds of issues where I operate from. Maybe in other locations you may have issues with that. I personally have not run into that issue. I'm sure that in a contest type of situation where the band is packed, it probably would not be very selective of a receiver. But again, for Parks on the Air or for casual operating, if you want a $200 radio to toss in your bag and go and not worry about, I would say don't hesitate to get one. They're certainly not as bad as their reputation has made them out to be. Plus, it looks cool. It's a good-looking little radio. It's built solid, makes contacts. So, all this to say, don't listen to all of the folks that you hear talk about things. Just get out and try things. I hesitated to buy this radio for a long time because of all of the negative things said about it. And, please do read reviews, do your research on things, but also just try them for yourself, because you may find that you don't agree with what other people say. So, would I recommend this radio to a brand new ham? Probably not. No, you'd probably get frustrated with it. Learning to operate on a good Xiegu or ICOM or something that is truly got all the features, the SWR meter built in, sounds great, looks great, operates great, interface is laid out well, will probably be a lot less frustrating for somebody that's newer. But if you are a ham radio operator who's been around for a little while and you just want another radio to add to your arsenal, and you want a $200 radio to be able to throw around, there it is. So that's all. Not really a review. I'm not going over the features. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about that. Just go watch one of them. I'm not a radio reviewer. I am a radio operator. So hopefully you enjoyed watching me operating this morning. And I enjoyed this Parks on the Air activation. Good times. Great way to start my day. Now I've got to get to work. So I will say 73 from W4ARB here in Tuskegee National Forest. I'll see you in the next video.